Okay, we are live. This is Attorney Vince Davis, and this is The Secret, How to Fight CPS and Win. And I'm joined by my very special co-hosts, Miss G, Georgette Truin. How are you, Miss Truin?
I am well, Mr. Davis. How are you?
Good. And of course, our other co-host, Miss Cassandra Woodard. Miss Woodard, how are you this evening?
I'm doing pretty good this evening.
Good, 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 good. Um, I like that thing that's hanging up, the little moth or butterfly in the background there. What
Yeah,
is that a scarf or a quilt or what?
it's a tapestry,
Oh, okay.
a wall tapestry.
Is that a wall that it's on, or is
Mhm.
that screening or something?
No, it's on my wall.
Oh, okay. I think
She's an
our
artist too, Davis. She's very good artist, by the way.
really
Yeah, I'm still
Yeah.
waiting for my art, but she's very good.
okay. So I want to say that I watched part of Miss G's show today, and I was commenting. It was quite a lively crowd. If any of the viewers haven't seen Miss G does a show with three other people, right?
Actually, it's supposed to be more than that, and Cassandra's going to join us.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to be part of the show as well, and her sister will be part of the show. So it's about a little bit less than 10 people.
So when you say her sister, you're talking about Cassandra's sister?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The one that was on the show with us the other day,
Okay.
Janie.
Okay. So your shows are what, Thursdays and Fridays at
1 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
okay. Yeah, it was interesting. It was a very lively show. You had some very interesting co-hosts.
Yes, and Darren actually is what he Darren Guai is one of my he's dear to my heart, him and his wife Mary. And I have known Darren for about 3 years now, 3 or 4 years, him and his wife. And they had one daughter, and I've been with them along the way, but he lost his appeal, by the way, Mr. Davis. And they're adopting his daughter. So I actually made an appointment for you and him to discuss the matter per your request.
Okay. When
He's
did he find out he lost the appeal?
I think a few days ago, and um, he actually had a consultation with you, a paid consultation with you, and it wasn't long at all. But you told me that you want to speak with him again about his appeal when we were driving to the courthouse for another client. And I told Darren, and he's going to make an appointment tomorrow with you.
When I talk to him and when I see him, I wonder to myself, what is wrong with him that he can't have his child?
Him and his wife did nothing. They did absolutely nothing. I kid you not. They did nothing. It was just an allegation, false allegation from someone. And that was that. And they took his beautiful blonde, blue-eyed. Oh my God, she's the cutest thing in the world. And there was no neglect and abuse. The child was happy and healthy and chubby. Um, he lost.
Hmm.
They lost.
I want to tell everyone that's watching on the YouTube platform, please like and subscribe to our channel and consider becoming a member. We're going to be boosting the membership benefits shortly, and you want to make sure that you'll be part of that, getting private videos, private calls, private group calls, and the such. And also, I'm told by someone in my office that there's going to be Fight CPS and Win merch.
What is that?
Cassandra, tell her what merch is.
Stuff you can buy that has like a logo or something on it that has to do with our channel or, you know,
It could be a
our
hat, a cap, t-shirt, sweatshirt, that type of thing. Coffee mug.
Mhm.
So Fight CPS and Win merch.
No.
Now, Miss G is has plans of blowing up her channel, which I'm all in support of. But if she's going to be a social media influencer, She's got to learn the lingo like merch.
I
Merch.
I thought
It's called merchandise. Mer-
Yeah, church merchandise.
like this is a live stream, not a podcast.
well, Darren actually does the merch as well, and he actually made a T-shirt for me, especially.
Oh, perfect.
He made a T-shirt with the show name on it, and he made a couple of T-shirts with logos, and he's actually giving you a logo that he created tonight for you for your show as well.
Oh, really?
He's the one that's the artist of the whole entire show.
He's an artist?
Yeah, he's he's an artist. Yes, he is. He
Now,
did the logo for my show, the one that you saw. He created the art for all my show, for everything. Everything he's done is for the cause, and me and him have the same passion. And along with Auntie Barb and everybody else on my show is to expose the Department of Child Services and to bring awareness to people who don't have CPS cases. That way, they know what to do ahead of the game, and to bring awareness everywhere in the world, not just in the United States.
didn't you tell me that he's from like Maine?
Maine.
Did he
Mhm.
tell me that? Yeah, Maine. Wow. Across the country. Right before I got on the show, I was speaking to someone from Maine who wants me to help them with their appeal. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to, but we'll see. We'll definitely see.
Yeah.
Auntie Barb is from Northern California, isn't she?
Yeah, she is, and me and Auntie Barb been talking for a while too, and she's amazing. Really, really good people. She's actually the aunt of the. She had her niece, and they took her niece from her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to talk to her through texts all the time. I mean, what they did to her is just unbelievable.
Yep. And there's more. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you don't know. I mean, I actually made an appointment for her to speak with you as well.
She's up there literally in Northern California at the
Mhm.
tip of, near the Oregon California border.
I don't know where exactly that is, but
Well, it's Colusa County, I believe. I think that's the name of the county.
you know what? That is funny you say that. How did you remember that? You have selective memory, Mr. Davis.
No, I remember everything. I just tell you that I don't.
Like I said, you have selective memory, Mr. Davis. Um, yeah,
Melanie says,
Colosa
how,
County. That's right. Yep.
"Hey,
Yep.
Melanie, how are you doing? How are you doing?" Now, I have a something I want to mention. In a lot of the shows, I meet people, guests that are, to me, have a lot to offer to our community in terms of information, in terms of sharing their experiences with these other parents. And last night we had several people who wanted to volunteer to be guests, and that happens quite often. People volunteer to be a host, not just a guest, but a host. And I asked Grace today. I said, Grace, you know, I I'm not exaggerating. There must be at least 50 to 100 people who have told me I want to be a host or a co-host. But no one has been, signed up and started doing a show. And I asked Grace, I said, what's going on? What are you doing to these people that they're not signing up? And she says a lot of people get, cold feet after they realize everything that it entails, because it's not just jumping on the screen here. There's a lot of, some background stuff we got to take care of, business stuff, contract stuff. We do have a few rules that apply to everyone except for Miss G. But, sometimes it can be a little more than you think. But if you want to be a host or a co-host on a show, please let us know. I've said this once before, and people think I'm joking, and I'm not joking. My goal is to have shows 24/7, 7 days a week.
Mhm.
All CPS shows.
Mhm.
because there are, I venture to say, hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of parents and relatives that are affected by what's going on, in CPS cases all around the country. And I think that we should share information. Now, I want to tell you something that I was involved with maybe 25 years ago as a lawyer. I met a guy who was one of the first lawyers who became kind of a specialist in an area called lemon law in California. And lemon law is just what it sounds like. It's when you buy usually a new car and, it's a lemon, and there are lawsuits to get your money back and to get compensated for the manufacturer selling you a lemon. Back then, and I don't know how technology has changed this, it probably has, but it was estimated that 20 to 25% of all cars that were made new were lemons. It was just built into the manufacturing process, and it was so high that lemon law became a pretty substantial strategy in California law. But anyway, this is what they would do. All of the attorneys that were lemon law lawyers would get together and share information about everything, about all the major car manufacturers. Now, can you imagine a network of, and it was a small network at the time, a network of maybe 50 to 75 attorneys that are sharing information on cases and on defendants. Okay, they had a repository of pleadings, of discovery, of transcripts of key executives in the auto manufacturing world. I mean, it was incredible, and it was just information sharing. You had to be part of the group, but if you were a legitimate attorney that did lemon law, you were part of the group and you shared this information. That's what I would like to do with this platform that we have. And some of the most valuable information comes from the parent themselves. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do 24/7. I see that our guest has made it back. Our guest is Miss Ashley. Miss Ashley, we can barely see you. The lighting's kind of dim, but we do see you, and I'm glad to have you back. How are you? Okay, maybe we don't have Miss Ashley back. She's frozen
She
again.
has bad connection.
Miss Ashley, you're frozen. I don't know if you can hear me. Okay, so I'm gonna remove you again, and hopefully you can try to log on again. Folks, if you want to be a guest or a co-host, it is very helpful if you have good lighting and you have high-speed internet connection, right? Because we don't want you freezing up and we want to hear you. And if you don't have high-speed internet connection, it's probably not going to work. Um, Sorry to say. Okay, so think about that when you want to come on the show. Here's something. Miss Swan says, "I'm serious about being in or on your show. I will email now." Okay,
Where are
Miss,
you reading this?
it's on the
Oh,
screen, bottom right, bottom left. Rayanne, I'm serious.
oh wow.
Rayanne, you email Grace at vincentwdavis.com, and Grace, tomorrow at 9 o'clock, I want you to tell me what's going on with Rayanne and why can't we put her on a show. Here's an interesting comment. Valerie Lewis says, "Did you see Tucker Carlson talk about how the government fabricated the evidence about January 6th and suppressed exculpatory evidence in the QAnon shaman?
Yes,
Sounds familiar. The media never talks about this."
yes.
I didn't see that. I'm not really a Tucker Carlson kind of guy. When I do watch Fox, I watch Hannity. Hannity. And there was a guy that was on there that was kind of entertaining, but they kicked him off the show for sexual abuse allegations. I forget his name, Do you remember his name? He was like the biggest thing on Fox.
No, I like Hannity and Tucker.
I know who you're talking about, but I don't remember his name either.
Yeah, I mean, he was the biggest thing on Fox,
Um,
right? Miss G, do you ever spread your viewing to other channels like MSNBC or CNN?
I used to when I was a Democrat. I don't do that anymore. I just now stick with Fox News and on TV Max or what's it called? Oh my God.
TV Max is way to the right.
Wait.
Hey, Lloyd,
Max?
thank you. Yeah,
No.
Cassandra. His name was Bill O'Reilly. That was
Oh,
him.
I see.
That was him.
Oh my God. I can't remember the name of the channel. But yeah, I don't
Miss
watch
G,
those anymore. Oh, Newsmax. Newsmax. That's what I watch. Newsmax.
Newsmax is way to the right, Miss G.
No, not
Uh,
really.
Hugo Felipe says, Miss G, please help me. Do you know Hugo, Miss G?
Hugo, can Davis, can you please put my email and have Hugo, Mr. Davis is gonna put my email on the post and email me your make sure that you put your full name on the subject line so I know who it is, and then put your cell number and I will text you tomorrow, God willing. And I promise you I will call you. Oh, and text you both ways actually.
Heidi says, I had a question about my attorney, but I don't think she posted the question. Cassandra,
No.
did you see the question anyplace?
No, I didn't.
Just if you guys have questions, because our guest had technical difficulties this evening, please post your questions and we'll be happy to answer them.
Hugo said he lives in Tijuana, Mexico.
Oh, for the love of Jesus.
What's wrong with that?
Tijuana, I've never heard of a case in Tijuana, Mexico.
No, I don't think he has a case there. He just lives there. He probably has a case in San Diego.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay.
Because literally Tijuana is right over the border, right? And there are people that go back and forth every day.
You know, I've never been to Tijuana, just FYI.
Neither have I.
No.
There are some places in Mexico that the government, I forget, the State Department is recommending Americans stay away from right now.
Right.
I saw on the news that Cabo San Lucas was, I don't know, maybe one of the places that is currently on the do not visit list.
The cartels are expanding. They were actually in the valley, by the way, and they assassinated a mother and her 9 months old baby, assassination style, and the whole family in the household. The cartels are moving in everywhere right now. The
Hey,
borders are open.
Miss G. Ann Leggett says, still waiting for the email of your book. Can you email her the book? You guys, I have a digital.
And you have my email address that Mr. Davis posted. Please email me your information and I will text you the link to Attorney Davis's book.
You guys, my book you can buy on Amazon, and I think there's an audio version of the book.
The hard copy, yeah, there is an audio version as well.
And but the book is also digitized, meaning we can email it to you or text it to you. So if you want that, you have Miss G's email address.
Heidi posted her question.
Hey, Miss Cassandra, did you know my book there was an audio version of the book?
Yeah, I remember you telling us something about that.
You could play it while you drive.
Yep.
Okay, we have you guys are sending me private messages?
No, I sent it to Grace, not you.
Oh.
But Attorney Davis, I have a question to ask you real quick. Somebody keeps asking me, obviously, and you, how can we change the laws? Now, I mentioned today on my show that we need to abolish the laws, the current laws we have when it comes to CPS, Department of Child Services. And I know you mentioned before voting and what have you, but I don't understand. How can you abolish the laws?
Abolish? Okay, that's a whole nother level. The only way you could abolish the laws is by through voting or through revolution.
Revolution?
Hmm.
You know, and I'm not supporting this, but it's revolution is usually defined as the violent overthrow of the government, and I'm not, promoting that at all. But theoretically, you're asking me. Um, but usually, we try to organize as a civilized country and community, and we try to vote. We vote in our guys and gals who believe in what we believe in, and hopefully they can change laws. You know, here's something I want to tell you, and it's very interesting having done this since 1989. I think it was January 2nd, 1989. I did my first CPS case. Now, Cassandra, were you even born yet?
In what year? 99?
89.
89? No, I was born in 91.
Okay. So before you were even a twinkle in your father's eyes, I was downtown Los Angeles doing my first juvenile dependency CPS case. And one of the things I've noticed about cases, and I do cases all over California and, sometimes across the United States, I've noticed a trend. I can see it clearly. And CPS has crossed over. It's just like rap music. Used to just be black folks. Now, some of the biggest rappers in the world are white. It's crossed over. R&B has crossed over. CPS, they crossed over. When I first was going downtown, you know, it was mainly black and brown people. And then slowly you saw the change and you see the change. But here's something that I've also noticed, and it's not happening as fast as I would like it to see it happen. I see CPS cases coming out of the closet. In other words, it was the biggest shame for you to be involved in the CPS case. Now, as long as it was a shameful thing, people didn't talk about it. So they didn't want to come out and try to make change. It was like, in the old days, you were gay. You didn't talk about that. Now it's out and gays are fighting for their rights. Well, I think parents have to do the same thing. They have to fight for their rights. They have to come out and say, look, I got caught up in a CPS case, and I think the laws need to be changed. They need to be changed. They need to hug the fact and embrace the fact that they have this type of case. Because if they try to hide it, nobody's going to listen. Nobody's going to listen. I, I don't know if I said this on the show recently, but um, many years ago, I went to something called the Jerry Spence Trial Lawyers College. Jerry Spence is known as arguably the greatest trial attorney ever in the United States. One of the things Jerry says about cases and about you as an individual, that they all have their weaknesses and they all have their strengths. But when you have a weakness in your case or in yourself, you should embrace it, hug it, love it, expose it for what it is, and not be judged by it, or not let people judge you for it. And I think that if people come out about these CPS cases, because look, the number of people that are affected in any one CPS case, it's just not the mother, it's just not the father, it's just not the children. There are relatives of many different degrees. There are spouses of the relatives of many different degrees. I mean, you're talking about a lot of people for each case. Now, multiply that by the number of cases in each county, just in California. Then take it to every state in the union. You're talking about a lot of people. And I think we can all agree, everything can be improved, and there's some things about this system that can be improved. You know, I would say, what would you say, Miss G? What percentage of the calls that we get are relatives trying to get kids out of CPS or out of a strange foster? What percentage would you say?
I would say about 40, 45%, maybe
Interesting, because I would say about 50%. But
45.
think about it. There's a law that says kids should be placed with relatives.
Mhm.
Why do half the people that call me say they can't get this kid out of foster care?
Because in order for them to get the incentive bonuses, they have to place the children in the foster home. Sometimes family members are forced to be foster parents, and some of them don't want to accept to be foster parents, to adopt their siblings or to have placement of their siblings. And they reject the social workers, and the social workers end up putting the child in a foster home because they're not going to get the bonuses unless the child is placed in a foster home.
Okay, I would agree. But stepping back for a moment, just thinking about this, there's something wrong with the system
Hmm.
or the implementation of the system if half the people that call me are relatives trying to get kids out of strange foster homes. I did a case, this is a couple years ago, and I won't say the county, it was up north in California, where this is almost hard for me to say, but routinely they didn't even think about placing the child with a relative until after the disposition hearing. That's clearly not the law. The law says let's place with relatives from the beginning, during the investigation, even before the detention hearing. And I think so many times, in a lot of cases, I think there's some like personal retribution going on, punishment. You know, if you take someone kids away and place them with the relative, I think sometimes people think, oh, that's not enough punishment.
Oh God.
We got to place them with strangers. We got to take them away from the family so they can really learn a lesson.
Let's.
Make it hurt.
Where is the? Wait, 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 wait. What? Who are they? Are they God? I
I
mean,
don't know.
they're
I don't
not
know.
God on earth.
No,
These
well,
mother
Miss
have
G,
the same size graves just like everybody else.
Miss G, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts
I get
absolute.
that. I get it. Power corrupts. I agree with you, Mr. Davis. I do. I agree with you. However, we need to take some of that power from them because we are paying them. We are literally paying them to have that power. And when you say that we vote them in, and I was telling everyone today on the show, do not just vote for a party because they're a Democrat. Do not just vote for a party because they're African American or they're Asian or they're Republican or whatever. Be an independent voter. The problem is we are divided in the United States. We are divided apart. Family is not value. There is no value to family life. There is no value to parenthood. They're taking that away from everyone in America. Slowly, you guys are allowing this to happen. Slowly, we are the people. We the people. We the people. You guys are
Hey,
forgetting how powerful that is.
hey,
This is very powerful.
I have to give a very special shout out to one of our viewers on YouTube, Maria Cedeno. Good evening, Maria. How are you? I give that shout out to her because Maria is a member of our channel on YouTube. Here is that gentleman who's, I guess, in Tijuana. Miss G or Mr. Vincent, do you have a local number? Please, I could call a 323 area code. We certainly do have a local number.
Hugo, this is why I asked you, sweetheart, to call the office, ask for Miss G, give them the information. I will text you from a local number. It will be a 310 number, and we will be able to communicate with one another about your case and what we can do to help you.
There is James Parker, Miss G. Do you know who that is?
Hi, Jimmy. Hi, Jimmy. Yes, I do know who that is.
Miss Cassandra, do you have any questions you want to ask me about CPS, about life, about trials?
No,
No?
No. Oh, yes, you
no,
do. No,
no, I
but
don't.
me and Cassandra were talking the other day about what we can do to help. I love you too, Jimmy. I love you too, Jimmy. Um, we were talking about what we can do society wise to bring the message out there, other than my shows and my shows, trying to bring the message out there. What can we do other than that? What I'm hoping we can do is bring everybody in the United States to protest all, like, literally to have everyone on the street. But in order for them to understand that parents are victims in CPS, we have to bring the message across, and we have to work in each state and gather enough people to fight for the cause. We need to be heard, just like George Floyd. And I told you guys this a million times. Just like George Floyd, you guys need to do the same with children, because children are our future. And we're not protecting the American children. We are sending money to Ukraine, all these billions and billions of dollars to Ukraine because we have a depleted president. And that's the sad truth. That is a very sad truth. So we need to come together. We need to stand together in love and unity, because right now the American people are divided, completely divided. We're attacking each other more than anything. There's so many deceiving people out there. We need to be the light. We need to shine over these people, and we need to fight for the right cause. This is not about, to me, if I hear the word Ukraine again, I'm just going to vomit. This is so disgusting to me. So we need to stand together in love and unity so we can fight against this corruption, and we need to save our future. Our children is the future. We need to save them. And a lot of people that called me yesterday, and you guys know who you are. You're watching the show right now. You guys know. You asked me, how can they do this to me? I'm a good mom. I'm a good dad. I used to think those people who lost their kids are bad parents. Now you know how they feel. Now you feel their pain, because do not judge lest you be judged. Remember that. You will be judged because you're judging others who are victims of CPS, and you're not waking up unless it happens to you. So whether you're a good parent, whether you're a fantastic parent, whether you are parent of the year, it doesn't matter. All they need is one accusation against you, and that's it. That's it. And oftentimes, the first thing they ask you, can you afford an attorney? Why do they ask you that, I wonder? They ask everybody this. Can you afford an attorney? And then, of course, you're going to say, no, I can't. And that's why they take advantage of you. That's why. So you need to lawyer up from day one. Like I told you guys a million times, lawyer up. Don't think that the beginning, that the first hearing, is you're going to be off the hook. No, I'm sorry. No, it's not going to be. It's not going to be that easy at all. At all. I guarantee you, 100%. Mark my word. You're not getting your children back on the first hearing. We have people that hire us after a whole year and 6 months, and they want Davis to do everything their 10 attorneys before him didn't do. But there's like stages, and Davis explained it to me. There's stages. You have stage 1, stage 2. You come to us in stage 5. And everything that you wanted to be done should have been done in stage 1 and 2. Am I right, Davis, or no?
No, I would have to agree with you. We have someone that we have a trial pending coming up where we're planning on winning, getting the child back, and they get frustrated that they have to wait for the trial date to have anything done.
Mhm.
Um, I'm not sure what people's expectations or thoughts about the legal process in a CPS case is. That's why I wrote that book, so I can explain to you. You know, Sometimes you think there must be something that can be done while I'm waiting for the hearing, and you might be right. You might be wrong. It just depends. Here I have to answer this question. Maria says, how long after a child is returned to the parent can CPS keep the file open? Well, generally, Maria, it's closed at that time or soon thereafter, maybe 3 to 6 months. But the outside time they can keep the case open is until the kid turns 18. So, depending how old the kid is. Some people like to keep the cases open for many different reasons. Some claiming that the kid or the family still needs services. And I've seen a case like that. But generally, you want to try to close it out within 3 to 6 months of getting the child back. All right. Well, ladies and gents, were you going to say something, Miss Cassandra?
Oh yeah, I was gonna test something, Miss
You know what?
B. I was
Huh?
gonna test something on Miss B.
Oh, something about.
Ukraine. You didn't vomit.
Ha! You're such a dork.
Okay. I
You're
was
such
waiting for
a
you to vomit.
dorky dork.
I guess that was some kind of inside joke, but
No,
um,
she's like, if I hear the word Ukraine one more time, I'm gonna vomit. So I said Ukraine.
I
She's not
didn't.
vomiting. She's still not vomiting, and I've said it 3 times already.
So, Attorney Davis, I need you on our show, my show, with the gang, and I'm trying to get you on a show, but not for a long period of time because I know you're busy and you have your schedule full. But if you can join me for at least the first 30 minutes of the show, that'd be great. Let me know if you agree with that because I would like you involved so you can answer some legal questions.
okay. I mean, it probably can't be tomorrow
Mm-mm.
because I might have to go to court unexpectedly on somebody's case. We'll just have to jump up and go with a half day's notice.
I hope she's worth it, Mr. Davis.
Huh. You got to put up some bullshit sometimes, I guess. Huh?
Oh
Okay,
my
folks,
god! Oh my god!
we're coming to the end of the show, everyone. Um, so we'll see everyone tomorrow night. Hopefully, we'll have a guest. Who wants to be a guest? Anybody out there want to be a
I
guest?
have a guest for tomorrow night. I do.
Email Grace, but make sure you have high speed
I
internet connection.
my people do.
Okay.
My peoples, they do. They have high
And
speed internet.
I hope Ashley, who was going to be our guest tonight, maybe you can get some type of internet connection. I did a show maybe maybe a year ago where the guest actually went to Starbucks and used the internet connection at Starbucks to do the show. What is this? You forgot about me.
Yeah, I don't know, Heidi. What did we forget,
What did
baby?
I forget about?
You're talking to two senior citizens here. We forget a lot. So what is it?
I told you guys she posted her question.
What is it?
I don't remember, but I seen it and I told you guys, but you guys don't listen to me ever. No, just
Oh, we're old people. We're old people.
Oh,
Here it
here
is.
it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Okay, let's answer Heidi's before we go say goodnight. Heidi Rockenbach. I have a permanency hearing coming up in March. Okay, it's March already. My attorney over a year and a half still doesn't know what is going on. I have a boy and a girl, and she always says, the boys, I'm scared because she will not help me. And it is the permanency planning hearing, the last court date. And what should I do for help? Well, Heidi, that's a legitimate question. If your court hearing is in March, you're getting up, you know, you're facing a deadline. What I would do is, I don't know. First of all, I don't know where your case is, what state, but let's say it's in California. I'd call Miss G, set up a consultation with me so I can talk to you about your case, or you can get an attorney in your area who's competent in CPS cases and go talk to him or her. You know, don't try to do any legal research on your own. The learning process is very slow, and you're not a lawyer. So you're going to have to talk to a lawyer that's experienced, and you're going to have to do it fast. If you were in California and your permanency planning hearing was coming up, one of the things that you need to do is you need to make a list of all the services that a judge ordered you to do. Then you have to ask yourself, did you complete all those services? And if you did, you need to get a report, a letter, or a certificate to bring to court to show the judge that you have done that. And you have to subpoena the person who prepared that certificate or report to come to court to testify that that report and certificate are true and correct. And in a lot of cases, you want to bring your counselor in so that he or she can testify as to, the fact that you did the counseling and that you just weren't a bump on the log, that you actually got something out of it and that you internalized it, and that, in their opinion, you're no longer a risk to the child. That's the permanency planning hearing in a nutshell. And of course, you want to have done your visits. I assume that sometimes, but a lot of times people don't do their visits. Got to have the judge's ordered visits. You got to do your visits, make sure they were good visits.
Oh, Mr. Davis, you
Uh-huh.
texted a group text today, and when I was doing the show to one of our clients, and you said we won, and I was so excited. I shared it with everybody today on my show.
Mm.
And you know who I'm talking about,
Mhm.
and that made me so happy. I was so excited, and I was telling people, please listen to the attorney. If you hire us and you have Attorney Davis, for example, and you're not taking his advice, you're going to lose. But don't blame it on him, because I have been in hearings with him where the client refuses to do it his way. The client thinks she knows what she's doing. She knows nothing, absolutely zero. And she keeps missing her case, completely disregarding the Davis himself. And even the judge would tell her, hello, you got an attorney, let him speak. Let him speak. But she's showing herself to be crazy to this judge. And it wasn't just one judge, it was two different judges. So please, again, listen to the attorney and do not do things your way because you think you don't know shit. People that win their cases go by what the attorneys and our office tells them to do. Remember that. You're either a winner or you're a loser, but don't cry when you lose because of your actions.
Here's something that I want everyone to think about, and I'm going to close out with this. When you go to court, most people want to be vindicated.
Mm-hmm.
But I have bad news for you.
Mm-hmm.
Winning doesn't always equal vindication.
Mm-mm.
So I asked this, and I asked this to Miss G several years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and she didn't get it at first. So if you don't get it, don't feel bad.
Mm-mm.
Do you want to win, or do you want to be right? Ask yourself that question. Winning means getting your kids back. Being right, well, that's an ego and a psychological satisfaction. Now, over the years, and I've been doing this over 30 years, I've come across people who really want to be right. They didn't care about getting the kids back. Not a lot. But usually when you stop and you tell people that, they think about it and then they sleep on it and they wake up the next day and they tell me, Mr. Davis, I want to win. I don't care about being right. And I say, that's great. So let's go out and win this case.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Darren says, Mr. Davis, I'm almost done with your backsplash. Cool, Darren. I would love that. And do me a favor, make Miss Cassandra a backslash.
Mm-hmm.
You
Okay?
don't like my backsplash already? No.
Well, it's just like over one shoulder, right?
Yeah.
That's
You're amazing.
If it was the whole screen, okay, we look like, we're doing live streaming on a certain kind of level,
He's
right?
amazing. He did a good job, Davis. He really
Well,
is.
I noticed your backsplash today, and I thought, wow, where did she get that from? And then I remembered you told me Darren was an artist. That
Yes,
that was
Darren.
that was amazing.
He's a creative artist. He's I love him. I love Darren. Good people. Good people, Mr. Davis. He's good people. Truly
Where
good.
is where is Deidre? Where you been, Deidre?
Oh my God, Deidre, I haven't seen her for a while.
But answer the question, you guys. What happened to you two
Well,
last night?
Oh, I
okay, check it out.
Promises,
No,
promises to be on the show.
let me say that I was on the show, and then I found out that I had to start driving, and I didn't have the right, internet connection, so I couldn't be on. And I told Grace, I was like, Grace, I'm going to be driving. I can't be on the show tonight. Let Mr. Davis know.
All right, whatever. The dog ate the homework.
It goes
Okay.
one ear, comes out the other. Remember that.
Georgette,
Where were you at, Miss Lee? Where were you at?
Georgette, you
Huh?
haven't answered the question. Georgette, answer the question.
Hello, Georgia.
I don't lie. So, Deidre, don't tell me I'm lying, because I'm telling the perfect truth. Where were you, Miss Lee?
Oh, well, y'all putting me on the spot?
Yeah.
Well, I,
Okay.
yeah.
At least I was legitimate, and I said where I was, okay?
Okay,
I was driving.
Deidre Payne, watch this. Will you two be on the show tomorrow night at 7?
Yes.
Yes.
Deidre, I'm sorry, but you can't take that to the bank. Good night, everyone. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 7. Oh, let me promote a couple shows on our channel. Number 1, Miss G at 1 o'clock.
Thursdays and Fridays.
And we have CPS The Horror Stories at, I think, 12 o'clock. And we're going to be starting a couple new shows, hopefully right away. So if you want to be a host and you want to pick a time slot, let me know. All right. Good night, all. Bye-bye.